Okay, so where have we got to with the Spidex editor? Well, at the moment it's doing lots of things that it didn't do before. I'm learning lots. It's still a really enjoyable journey. It's been a bit slow of late because some of the stuff I'm doing is quite complicated for me to get my head round, and that, so I can now add objects from this little pop-up menu. We can also add a pyramid which appears up there. Let's add another plane on there, and if we take, so let's take the default cube, we can edit the default cube. I've just got a new monitor and it's messed everything up for scale wise. Let's set that with a new texture of brick, say. Actually no, let's set that with just an ordinary plain texture, and we'll leave it where it is. We can update that. The plane, we can edit that as well. Let's set that to the brickwork. Let's just change that to 1 and update that. The other plane, we can let's add a brick texture to that. Let's set that to -1 and update. So you can see it's starting to get where I wanted it to go. I can now add textures to objects. I can add objects in. I can, even the pyramids, we can edit the pyramid. Let's pop a texture on that, say. If when I update this, it will, if I put that to 0 and put that to 1, it should put it on top of the cube. It does, but what it does is it turns it on its side. Not 100% certain wise, because I've been messing about with the rotation of this. Now if I set this to -90, it will correct its orientation. In fact, actually, let's just edit that up one as 1.1 so we can see it's just above the cube, and there we go. I think it's all doing what I really wanted it to do. I mean, I have spent an awful lot of time changing the code and how the code's laid out. The pop-up menu on the screen simply calls to the add cube, which is in here, so, or the add plane, that's where I'm actually at. So should add plane, comes in here, does what it needs to do, sets the initial position. I've set it up like this. It won't be set up like this eventually. Each time I add a cube, it adds it in a slightly different place, so you can see where it is. Comes through here, sets it with the default texture. There's going to be needs to be some more work done on this default texture business, because I've noticed if you add a second cube, the second cube, if you update the first cube with a texture and then add another cube afterwards, the text, it doesn't upload it with a texture for some strange reason. Yeah, it's all doing what I want. I have spent hours and hours and hours trying to get my head round the code, because the first time I tried this to learn how to do this, I was writing all this code, copying all this code, and not understanding what it was doing, which basically meant all I was doing was copying other people's code and joining it all together to get where I was going. Not really the correct way of doing it. You need to have a rough idea of what the line of code is doing and how it's working. And I think, even though I'm very, very slow at it, I am struggling. I'm thoroughly enjoying doing it. I didn't realise that it could be such an interesting pastime. I spend hours doing this stuff. Anyhow, the code's all uploaded to GitHub. If you want to see it, have a look at it and peruse it, please feel free. Thanks for watching if you did.